So again, recapping, the collapsible face mask, great for a number of reasons. Air being so important for you, protecting your face, dust, accidents, I don't know, so many reasons to have this in your bag, and especially this one, the one that is collapsible and has the valve that keeps the mask from getting all moisted because of respiration. You know, during the flu season, I would take one of these masks when I was going to places that were crowded, and this isn't exactly Japan, so people aren't that used to seeing people with face masks. But I tell you what, as soon as someone started coughing in that train, so crowded, they all looked at you as if I would love to have that face mask you're wearing right now, because yeah, you want to avoid those things if possible. Flu is no fun, so if you could avoid it, just go for it. And something this compact, yeah, great. Find it, get it, and add it to your kit. Also, you have your table is getting full of stuff. This is condensated milk in a tube. It's like a big toothpaste tube full of condensated milk. Condensated milk is one of those food products that it's full of sugar. You have milk, you have fat in it, all things you want during an emergency. During an emergency, you want energy, and during longer periods of time, you do want fat. Fat is important in an extended situation. If it's just something that's a few hours, a couple of days, you have to move, you need sugar so as to fuel your muscles, then sugar is enough. Now, if you're talking about longer periods of time, you want fat and protein as well, and this provides all of that in a very convenient tube, and something that doesn't require cooking or anything like that. It's not one of those super dry power bars that make you just soak up all the water you have, because it's already sort of liquid. So, I mean, if you find this, it's Nestle condensated milk. Just look around and see if you find it in your store. It's a great product. You know, there's something called a plumpy nut that is used in Africa to feed the starving kids. It's supposed to be a miracle food because it's so nutritious and it's saving lots of lives, thousands of lives for little African kids that are just starving and barely able to move. They give them a thing called plumpy nut. Plumpy nut, if you look for it on the net, you will find that it's basically this plus peanut butter. It's peanut butter with condensated milk and a sugary paste. That thing alone is enough to feed a starving kid and get him back on feet in a few days. So the combination of peanut butter and condensated milk, it's the most effective nutrition system currently known. I'm not kidding, you can look it up, plumpy nut, you'll find the information. Also, I have here front pockets. Well, have a few bags. These are the ones you find in grocery stores and such. They come in like in a roll, just several bags in a roll. It's practical to have little bags. Leave it aside. Spare batteries, AAA. What are these for? Well, you reach into my pocket and here you have it. My little Phoenix LDO1 uses these AAA batteries. It uses just one, so with 4 batteries they have like 4 days worth of light. Look how quickly the amount of redundancy adds to the capabilities of dealing with extended emergencies. I'm quickly adding several days worth of light. Matchbox with storm matches, and as well some strike anywhere matches, pieces of cotton to start fires, and a small fishing kit in there as well. I don't really see much use for the fishing kit in my current environment, but it is there, and since it takes no space at all and no weight, I mean, why not have it? Small mirror and has a small striking piece of ferro rod here. Very small, not very practical, but it is there. More practical in that regard is actually a good fire seal like this one. Case with a couple spare batteries. Exactly what for? Well, for my other flashlight that is here somewhere. Well, you saw it on my EDC video, and I just showed it to you. The 4.7 Quark 123 tactical flashlight uses these batteries. Let's see if I have it somewhere. Yeah, well, must have left it among all that stuff. A couple of batteries, that's enough for me. The 4 batteries for the less powerful flashlights will assure that I have light for non-tactical purposes, but for something that you need the 200 lumens provided by that particular flashlight, I will have at least 2 batteries for it. Leatherman bit kit, several different bits to be used along with the system of the Leatherman that it's in your pocket with your clip. I didn't mention this in the previous video, but you see that I have a black clip instead of the chrome one. Well, I took the the time to order this one because it's the one that it's chrome, it's just so shiny. This one being black, it's not as noticeable as the previous one, as the one that comes originally with this tool. So I just ordered it online. It's just a few bucks, and I have a kit, a clip that doesn't attract that much attention, that isn't that visible. Just one little thing so as to attract less attention toward myself. And of course, these bits work with this tool over here. So you have in just this flat, in this flat pouch, you have several alternatives of tools. At the bottom I have some paracord, 550 paracord, and at the bottom of all I have a Shimag scarf. This is pretty big. It can be used for if the climate changes all of a sudden, which sometimes happens here South America. All of a sudden, for example, these days when summer is ending, all of a sudden 20 degrees drop as if nothing, and at least you have something so as to cover your neck with. Also, used in combination with your water, it would be a good way of protecting yourself when escaping from fire. You just soak this scarf with water, cover as much of yourself as possible. When using this Shimag scarf, it is pretty big, so it would work rather nicely during a fire. You know, it also has many other uses. I should probably do a post on the blog about the Shimag scarf, because it's a nice sized scarf that can be used for when you have an injured arm, when you need a tourniquet. Well, I do have an alternative for that with the emergency bandage, but it has many other uses as well. Pre-filtering water, getting most of the grit out of it before using some water purification pills, which we'll talk about later when we see into the little Altoids kits. Pre-filtering water, many other uses for a big scarf like the Shimag. Also, when you know how to use it around your face, your head, it covers your mouth nicely during winter time. When you see this a lot in Buenos Aires and Argentina during the protests and the riots, when you see guys starting trouble, they usually have their face covered with this. So let's suppose there's rioting going on in the city, you cover your face with this, you're just one more of those nutcases running around and setting stuff on fire. And since many of them are government sponsored, you're pretty much okay to go in that regard. So, you know, it is sort of urban camouflage, at least around here. And I think I covered it all. Yeah, nothing left. As you see, it's mostly the basics covered. It's it does cover a broad amount of stuff. It works with on your person everyday carry gear as well. The flashlight with the batteries that can be used for when you need more power during more periods of time. The kit, the tool kit with the drivers with the Leatherman charge multi-tool. It all works rather well. It's not that complex, it's not very fancy or anything, but it is what I'm using right now. I used to have the fanny pack, the dreaded fanny pack, for some time, until I realized that I just needed more space. The fanny pack is not as popular here. I mean, you do see people with it, so yeah, that's not correct. It is fairly popular, but you do see more people, especially downtown, in the downtown district. You do see more people with this sort of stuff, with a big bag, and yeah, often red as well when they're carrying documents, messengers, guys going bicycles and motorcycles. They usually have something like this. So it is, at least around here, and at least in an urban environment and in a big city, it is a gray man approach in some way, because you're just one more among the crowd. So folks, basically that's it. I'll do a review on the Altoids kit later, and also on the little survival, well, not the little first aid kit. I'll do a review separately, because there's so much stuff in these little boxes and this little pouch that it's not enough time in this video to cover it all as well as I want to. So remember to subscribe, visit the blog, visit the forum as well, which is doing great, and there's lots of interesting people to meet. If you want to talk about many of these things, there's a thread automatically created from this video, so that's a good place to talk about all this stuff you just saw here, and share ideas, tell me what you think, ask questions, and you know, get the input from different people that pretty much we all have the same mindset, and we can really learn from one another. So subscribe to the Modern Survivalist YouTube channel, and check us on the modernsurvivalist.com blog as well, and visit the forum. See you on our next video, and take care.